what do western fence lizards and black-legged ticks have in common? Well, not a whole lot. One is a reptile, one is an arachnid. One eats bugs, the other eats blood. So on the surface, there doesn't seem to be a common denominator here. But if we dig just a little bit deeper, we find a really rad link between the two. Black-legged ticks, also known as deer ticks, use many species as hosts, including us humans. But western fence lizards are arguably their most interesting host. These lizards can be bitten by up to 40 ticks at a time, which entails the ticks burrowing into their skin and enjoying a blood meal until they're nice and fat. When these ticks latch onto other hosts, they pass on the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. Please don't make me try to pronounce that. Through their saliva. But no matter how many times these lizards are bitten, they remain somehow unaffected. And they're not just immune to the bacteria, they magically rid the ticks of Lyme disease. Okay, it's not actually magic. It's because of this really cool protein in their blood called the Borreliacidal factor that neutralizes the bacteria. Think of these lizards as sanitization factories for the ticks. They latch on with the bacteria and they release without it. It's amazing, right? And this not only protects the lizards, but it prevents the disease from being spread to future tick hosts. So could this exciting finding lead to a world without Lyme disease? Probably not. There's a few important factors to consider here. First, the ethics of studying an animal and extracting its blood for the benefit of humans. Take a look at what we've done to horseshoe crabs. It's not a good look. An alternative could be to distribute some of these lizards to areas of high tick density so they can neutralize as many ticks as possible. And that sounds pretty foolproof, right? No, sorry. Ecosystems aren't that simple and neither are lizards. These ectotherms wouldn't fare well in tick hotbed areas like Wisconsin or Minnesota because of their extreme winters. Plus, a study that removed the species to see if the number of ticks carrying the pathogen would increase actually found that the number of ticks decreased. Why? Scientists believe it was simply that the ticks couldn't find enough suitable hosts in the lizard's absence, so they died. As a big fan of western fence lizards and a hater of ticks, I think there's a real chance that these lizards could very well become Lyme disease fighting superheroes if we can find ethical and safe ways to harness the Borreliacidal factor. But as the study highlighted, an easier way to tackle the tick-borne Lyme disease problem is by decreasing the number of available hosts. Mice, shrews, and chipmunk populations soar in the absence of predators like foxes, whose numbers decrease when humans fragment or destroy their habitats or remove them from certain areas. So protecting predator populations decreases the number of available smaller tick hosts. And this is going to become increasingly important as climate change continues to spread and cause public health issues. As winters become warmer and shorter, species like ticks thrive. For instance, black-legged ticks typically start dying off once temperatures reach 14 degrees Fahrenheit, but some can survive in temperatures as low as -7. So if there aren't enough cold snaps, ticks survive winter after winter and numbers continue to surge in the US. This is a big problem because they carry a whole host of pathogens, like the one carried by the Lone Star tick, which can cause humans to become allergic to red meat. Reducing tick populations is important not just so people can enjoy the outdoors, but so we can prevent the spread of disease. Reducing the impact of ticks on humans doesn't require us to think way outside of the box for solutions like harnessing lizard blood. We just need to protect the food web. More predators lead to fewer smaller animals that make great tick hosts, which leads to fewer ticks. To quote Kendrick Lamar, problem solved.